Okay guys, Dynam T33 here. As promised, I was gonna give you a little video of the Dynam T33. Really disappointed with this airplane. And, I've got a lot of feedback from a lot of guys saying, well, you get what you pay for. This airplane was nearly the same cost as the Freewing. And I'd never built a Dynam or assembled a Dynam airplane. So I had no idea what I was getting myself into and probably should have asked. But, you live and you learn. So let's get started. When the wings arrived, they were in a cardboard box inside of the kit box with no packaging or protection. So in shipping, they bounced around and wrinkled up all of the corners. And as you can see, the finish is not nice. There's a bunch of imperfections because of the packaging. Dings here and there. The foam is extremely soft. The other thing was this kind of got me a little bit. These things, they're just like little flappy wings. They're just made out of some really soft, flexible material, which I guess if you're gonna bang them on the ground, that's a good thing, but it looks terrible. And once again, the packaging led to all kinds of imperfections. The other big issue was the EDF. I ran it up 3 times, short bursts. It was extremely vibrating, which indicates out of balance, obviously. And on the third run up, the ESC burned up. Don't ask me why. Everything was hooked up properly. It was running properly. And so, not to give up on it, I put another complete power system, E-flite power system in it. The other thing is these. This is just a straight wire bent down here, straight from the retract. No kind of suspension or anything on this. And the mains are the same way. It's just a wire right into the retract with no spring or anything to absorb any kind of roughness or grass takeoffs or anything. So the foam is going to receive all the brunt of any kind of rough surface. The other big issue was all of the nut certs had glue in them, and I didn't discover it until I started trying to put the first screw in, and it seized into the nut cert, which eventually caused damage to the strut that goes into the wing. And I've got that all repaired, but I ran a tap through all the holes. So if you delve into this, know in advance that you probably should run a 3mm tap through the holes if you don't want to have the same problem that I had. The other thing is this nose cone is solid foam. There's no plastic or anything. So if you bump into something or just everyday hanger rash is just gonna show up like crazy because this thing is super soft. I'll come around to the back here. So inside of here, there's a little piece of flat plastic with a molded in nut holder that just glues to the foam. And that's one of your attachment points for your stabilizer. And both of those were loose. I ended up taking them out and re-gluing with some foam tack to make sure they were going to be okay, and also run the tap through all of those holes as well. So, and one other, here's some more of that damage I was telling you about. And this is right out of the box. I mean, you know, when you spend money for an airplane, especially over $200, you expect to get something that's halfway decent. And this thing had a lot of issues, has a lot of issues. One of the other major issues I'm going to try to show you here with the radio is the flap servos on this model. It may not be on every model, but on this model, the flap servos have a different throw volume. And, you know, I guess you could probably adjust that in the radio with today's modern radios, but your average beginner or intermediate guy is not gonna have the knowledge to get into the programming to do that. And so when you drop the flaps, there is a noticeable difference in throw on the servos. You can see how far up that one is based on the molding indentations. And I'll come over here and show you this one. You see how much different it is. So I've went ahead and purchased a couple extra servos that are a little better quality servo and are going to be more reliable for equal throw. I was really disappointed because I was really wanting the yellow ribbon Ace Maker paint scheme so that I could have have an HSD with a turbine in it, and I've got the arrows T33. All three are the Ace Maker paint scheme, which I thought would be cool, but it's going to take a little bit of work to get this thing where it should be. And I just want everybody to know going into it that you know, there's a random possibility that you're going to have the same issues I had. And knowing that going in, maybe it will change your decision on buying this particular model. See you on the next one.